Hey guys, it's Sean Keeley from NunesMagician.com, and it's Friday, and I thought let's kick off a series called the Friday Morning Videobag. And how that works is you send some emails or tweets to me, and I'll answer them as best I can. Let's go. Technically, no, Fab is not gone yet. But in reality, yes, Fab is gone. First of all, there's a bunch of people who said not only have they heard from sources that he has already decided to go pro, but there's people coming out now saying, yeah, we knew he was going to go pro before the season ever started. So take that for what it is. Think about, he's in academic trouble. We don't know exactly how deep this goes or what the deal is. Chances are that those academic issues aren't going to improve anytime soon. So does he even really have a choice? I mean, that we don't even know if that's the issue. Another thing to keep in mind is, I forget exactly who tweeted this, but I saw a reporter, I think it was before the Kansas State game, who said he just got off the phone with Fab Melo, who was already back in Brazil. So if that's the case, if he's already gone and he's not in school and he's clearly not on Twitter and not communicating with the team, then I think it's a pretty safe bet to say he's gone, and we should probably assume that the team will move on without him. You know, in my opinion, I think Kentucky has the inside track with Noel, and I say that knowing that Michael Carter-Williams has a great relationship with him, and Michael Carter-Williams' dad coaches Nerlens apparently in some games. But you know, I just think there was an article about it by Andrew Sharp on SB Nation the other day about how John Calipari has kind of perfected this style of recruiting where he's able to get guys like Nerlens to commit to Kentucky, and within a year they are lottery material. And sure, we've had some guys like that at Syracuse, but usually they've been either sophomores or seniors or something like that, Carmelo being the exception. But you know, there's just something about that appeal that I don't really think anybody else can touch in this moment. I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up coming to Syracuse, but I personally still feel like he's going to end up at Kentucky. I'm really interested to see what our running backs and our wide receivers are going to look like after the spring, and who kind of steps up and who makes a move, because I feel like that happens every year where there's one or two guys that nobody was thinking about when the spring started, and then by the time spring's over, you know, all of a sudden it's like, oh my God, we can't live without this guy. And you know, I'm looking at Jerome Smith and Adonis Amin Moore. Obviously, Prince Tyson Gully, we're hoping for big things out of him. And then the wide receivers, I mean, you know, we know Alec Lemon's out and Marcus Sales is, you know, a big question mark. But what about Gerard West and Jeremiah Cabina and Keenan Hale? I mean, there's all these guys who have a lot of potential, and, you know, somebody's going to blow up. Somebody's going to come out of the spring with, you know, having moved up the depth chart really high. So I'm kind of excited about that. As far as freshmen, I am really excited about Ron Thompson, the tight end. I mean, he just looks like the perfect guy to come in and fill the shoes of Nick Provo. And, you know, Nick Provo goes down in the record books as arguably the best tight end we've ever had. And now all of a sudden Thompson is the kind of prototype to smash all those records. So I'm really excited to see what he brings to the table. You know, for as much as I think the defense as a whole, there's so many question marks there, and you could pick a defensive unit and you could probably make the case that that's the most important takeaway we need to get out of the spring. But I'll tell you what, something that I think has been forgotten is the running game. I think with Antoine Bailey gone, we've got, you know, a bunch of guys that we know can you know, do well on a limited basis, but can Prince Tyson Gully come back from last season and, you know, lead this team? Is Jerome Smith going to step up and overtake him? Is Adonis Amin Moore going to be more than just kind of a goal line guy? And, you know, so I'm looking at our running backs right now, and I'm really curious to see who emerges at the end of the spring, and who, you know, are we looking at more of a 2-3 back system, or is somebody going to step up and be the next great Syracuse running back? So that's kind of what I'm looking forward to finding out. I tell you what, this is a really good question, because we could sit here and forget about all the stuff that's going on around the program and just, you know, Jim Boeheim, how long does he coach? I think this guy is still here for another 3-4 years at least. I really feel like for all of his dropping hints and all of his, sooner or later I'll get tired of it and I really don't like this job and all that nonsense, I think he's going to have to be dragged away from the Carrier Dome eventually. And it might not end up being pretty just because, I don't know. I just don't see him walking away as long as he has detractors, as long as he has people who he thinks don't believe in what he can do and don't think he's got it anymore, which, he will always think he has that whether he does or not. The flip side to that, I think the thing that's really going to determine how long Jim Boeheim coaches is whether or not there's any more fallout from the Bernie fine and the lawsuit and all that stuff. And, if there's something else lurking out there, now that everybody's digging into Syracuse and this program in the past and talking to players and people, I'm just worried that any day now the other shoe's going to drop. And what's going to do Jim Boeheim in is not specifically one thing, but the culmination of like 5 or 6 things where it's just, we kind of have to sever ties with this guy. So to answer your question, I don't know. I think he'll be around for another 3, 4, 5 years, but, we all just kind of have to be careful of what else is lurking out there. It's a good question. Is the Moon a home game in the Syracuse city-state? And the answer is yes. If you think about it, when you're in New York, when you're in the confines of New York State, can you see the Moon? Yes. Well, then there you go. It's within Syracuse. It's kind of a no-brainer when you think about it because you can't see Connecticut from most places in New York or, Pennsylvania unless you're at the border. But you can clearly see the Moon. So obviously it's a home game. And I assume you mean Newt as in Newt Gingrich and not Newt, the little girl from Aliens. Because if we're talking about the little girl from Aliens, that means there are aliens there. And I think it's a close one. I think that, if we get Nerlens, Coleman, Christmas, and Bay can match up well against the aliens. You don't want to draw the foul. You don't want to draw the acid blood. That's just going to cause problems. And I think, unless if the Queen gets involved, then I think we've got Boeheim there. And if there's anybody who's a bigger pain in the ass than the Queen alien, it's Jim Boeheim. So I still think we win in that sense. I think that's what I'm saying.